An innovative approach in civil and structural engineering has surfaced, with digital engineering now becoming pivotal in revolutionising infrastructure development, driving efficiency and innovation within the construction sector. For more, I'm joined by Matthew Kehoe, General Manager, Digital Construction at Case Civil and Structural Engineering. Wonderful to have you with me. Tell us a little bit about what you and your team get up to, just to start.
Yeah, well, all our job really is applying the latest digital technologies that are out there on the market, things like AI and animation, and applying them to construction to make it better. That's
Fantastic.
What digital construction is.
It also sounds like a little bit of fun, 3D modelling and things like that.
It is,
but
it's good.
What does digital construction mean in infrastructure and engineering sectors, more broadly speaking, and how's it been received, I suppose?
So it's been received well.
Yep.
In some sectors. Digital construction, it's really that application of technology to try and improve things. We're seeing a huge government spend coming up, over $200 billion in major projects alone, double that when you look at minor infrastructure and private construction. And that's a challenge for Australia. We've got to manage workforce shortages, we've got to make the most of our resources that are out there. And what digital construction is all about is about doing construction better. It hasn't changed in decades. It's not super innovative industry.
Yep.
To squeeze every little bit that we can out of the industry to make the most of that infrastructure spend.
Streamline the experiences and of course what's going on out there. So Case, I understand, focuses on engineering excellence and of course those strategic partnerships in diverse sectors like roads, rails, bridges, tunnelling, marine. You guys are everywhere. So how do you guys use digital services such as the ones we've mentioned to contribute to reducing waste and I guess improving that resource efficiency, utilising and making the most of what you have available?
Well, I think when you think about those sectors, like the things that we're building at the moment, the dams, the tunnels, the railways, they're huge consumers of steel and concrete and quarry products that we're pulling out of the ground. $70 billion, we think, in the next 5 years of just that raw material. So if we can be a little bit smarter with how we use that, and where digital construction comes in, is those digital tools can rapidly model, they can compare options to make the most of that resource. We had a major project client here in Melbourne that recently reached out and said, we think there's something that can be done about our bridge. Can you reduce the concrete? What our team was able to do was do some 3D models in software that automatically calculate the embodied carbon in each option, change the concrete, the steel, automatically the cost, the market rates, and spit out a report for options that the client could select. If you did it the old way, the 2D drawings, you'd have somebody drawing it for a week, then a few people doing takeoffs and calculating and writing a report. It's just not the way that we're going to get to those reduced materials that our clients saw here in Melbourne.
Absolutely. That 3D modelling stuff speaks to the gamer in me who you know, explores these digital worlds and stuff. So it's wonderful to see it utilised in a practical way. So how does digital construction create opportunities for innovation, economic growth, and of course, when it comes to infrastructure development, sort of getting it right faster and as you outlined, you know, making sure there are people still working?
Yeah, well, I think this is the really exciting part. What digital construction is going to enable is that next step in construction, that automation and that modularisation of the projects we see out there in the market. If we can, and what we're talking about here is prefabricating large chunks, building them off-site and then just bringing them to site and assembling. And it's already been done. Wind turbines, the blades made in Spain, the motor maybe in Korea, and the tower somewhere else, and they're brought to site and assembled. Lego building, we need that. And if you compare that to maybe a hospital that's in your local area and the hundreds of people that are crawling over that for weeks, months on end, out in the sun, the rain.
Blocking the traffic, etc.
Disrupting the community, the noise, the dust, all of that. If we can start to build those 3D models in the software that we've got available now, we can build things off-site in factories that are in regional areas, support local investment. You know, we avoid that peak and trough of $3 billion spent in one area for 3 years. There's 20 kilometres, those suppliers go boom and then they go bust.
Right.
But the bit that really excites me about it is what construction needs is more workforce, and if we can do more work in a factory that's safe, controlled, we can attract more diverse communities to those. We can attract the other half of the workforce that's missing from construction. and we can start to get a lot more productivity and efficiency out of that with flexible working environments and stable jobs that aren't boom and bust.
Education to that as well. I mean, there's going to be people learning the software and learning to design and coming to you and working with you, and I think that's just a wonderful thing. If people want to find out more, Matthew, or engage with you and the team, where's the best way to do that and keep an eye on what you're producing?
So come to the Case Civil and Structural Engineering website. We've got lots of information there about what we can produce for clients, how we can save money and improve the output for communities. That
sounds very cool. I'm going to give it a look a bit later on, but I want to thank you for joining us on the program and highlighting a little bit more about how this technology is changing the game.
Lovely. Thanks, Mike.
All right, that's the program for the moment. Of course, I will see you again very soon. Stay right where you are. More Ticker coming up right after this.
You're watching Ticker. We'll have more in just a few minutes.